XTech mags for H&K VP9 and P30. Let's check it out. Now, I'm a big fan of HK pistols, especially the P30 or the VP9. They're just excellent guns. The magazines interchange, and they're just solid choices, whether you want the hammer fire or you want the striker fire. And HK quality is world renowned. But one of the downsides are magazines, and that is the price. Typically with an HK magazine, you're looking at sometimes around 50 bucks. And I've purchased quite a few at that price because I just really like the guns. But one thing that's a new option now is from XTech Tactical. They're making HK very high quality magazines for around $34.95 for the standard 15 rounders. But what's really cool is they've come out with a 20 rounder, and they're also coming out with a 20 rounder extension that you can add to your existing magazines. Of course, standard 15 round magazines are great to have, but if you really want that extension, this makes a big difference. And when it goes into the guns, you can see it does hang out. Of course, you do get those extra 5 rounds. So it does give you a lot more capacity. Now we're gonna go ahead and make sure that these guns are unloaded just for safety's sake. And they are. Now, to me, the only reason to go from a factory magazine to an aftermarket magazine is because of either some kind of performance or the price. One thing about HK, it is top notch. They're fairly expensive. The P30 is not a cheap firearm. And when I first bought the P30 and I went to buy extra magazines, I couldn't find them. And when I did finally find some, it was 50 bucks a piece. Now, this was a few years ago. I believe it was around the Sandy Hook time. So, the magazines just happened to be, a rare commodity at that time. But they're still in the $45 to $50 range. You can find them less some places. Sometimes you can find them a little more. So one of the big benefits with the XTech magazines is price. $34.95 compared to, at least $6 or $7 cheaper. But $6 or $7 is not a big deal unless these things perform very well. We shot about 500 rounds through the different various magazines, not through each magazine, but just to get a flavor. There was no malfunction with the magazine, period. They just fed. One problem, though, that we did have initially was loading the magazines was a little stiff right at first. But after the first initial just the break-in and first initial load, we had no issues after that. In fact, I pulled out one of the kits earlier and it loaded really quickly. Now, one issue that I typically have with the VP9 or the P30, even with HK factory magazines, is riding my slide release. I mean, they come back pretty close, and the way I grip my gun, I just tend to kind of hold that down. And because of that, I had a couple of times where the slide didn't hold open, but it was not the problem with the magazine. In fact, Robbie Wheaton was shooting and he had no problems at all with the slide holding back, and mine was just on occasion. So, but also you get extra features with these magazines because of the 5-round extended base plate, and so you get a better price, you get a better capability, more capacity, and that makes it really nice. Now, you can buy the magazines themselves. I think they're $49.95. And then, which is about the same price as a standard HK factory magazine. And then if you want to go with just the kit to upgrade your HK magazine to a 20 rounder, I believe these are $29.95, but if you buy them in a 2-pack, they end up running about $24.95 a piece. Of course, the big question is, how do these stack up to the standard HK magazine? Well, we have an HK magazine on the right. On the left, we have one of the XTech. This is a very similar, in fact, all the dimensions, everything is pretty much exact, except a little difference here with the HK has a little more of a moon shape. One thing though that I did notice right here, which I thought was pretty fascinating, was the HK magazines have these puzzle cuts in the back where they fit it together and form it together. With the XTech, and this is the XTech on the bottom, it has the cuts. It's a little different in shape, but it still retains that same forming. So these magazines are formed the same. Now these are made in Germany, and the XTechs are made in the USA. Also, you'll notice this small little witness hole down here at the bottom. If you add the extension on here, this will give you the 20 round witness hole, which I think is a great feature, and knowing that the magazine is fully loaded. But honestly, guys, as far as the fit and finish, these are very close, very close. You know, a few minor cosmetic differences, but nothing really to write home about. And you can see the followers, small slight differences, but pretty much the same. Their magazines, number one, are made in the USA. They are stainless steel. They're 310 stainless steel. They're Teflon coated. Now we're going to install one of the extended kits on a standard HK magazine. First, we want to just push the button here, the retaining plate. We're going to withdraw our spring. Now we need the follower from the existing magazine and the magazine body. Take your extended spring and set the follower on top. Then we're going to take what they call the spring button, and this is from XTech. It does give you a little more advantage when taking off your base plate. And it just kind of fits right there. Now take the follower and enter it into the magazine body. Next, we're going to take the inner housing, and you'll notice right here there's a ledge that runs along the edge here, and this is called the lead-in, and this is going to fit very seamlessly to the body of your magazine, keep from any kind of issues from snagging happening. Go ahead and put it over the spring and spring button. You'll notice that the flat back matches the flat part of your magazine. Now bring in those lead-ins, and it just seats like this. Next, we're going to take the housing, and you'll notice there are grooves right here at the bottom. You're going to match the grooves on your magazine, and then we're going to depress the spring button and snap it into place. It's that easy, guys. It's a really simple process. I'm behind a camera, so it makes it a little tougher, but really easy to do. This button extends out, which typically the HK magazine is more recessed. The spring button makes it a little bit easier, where you can take just a bullet, or you could probably even push it in and be able to, there you go, you can get it out without any tools. It's a little more difficult with your finger, but not too bad. And then you can do any kind of maintenance you need, and then when you're ready, bring it back down. And this is their 15 rounder. Very easy to disassemble and to assemble. Now the magazines fit well, whether it's the P30, here you have the extension, or the VP9. And now with this as a bedside gun, you're ready for World War III. And of course the P30 also uses the standard VP9 magazines, so either way you want to go, or if you have the P30 SK or the VP9 SK. And of course the 15 rounders do as well. Alright, I want to thank Freedom Munitions for sponsoring the ammo. You get a 5% discount using Such00 at the Freedom Munitions website. Alright, we've got 3 20 rounders and a 15 rounder, and we're going to be shooting the VP9 and the P30. We're just going to check reliability. Yep, there we go. We didn't have any malfunctions at all, other than the slide dropping, and that was user error. So this is going to give you a really good solid magazine for a much reasonable price. Plus you can buy these in bulk packs in 5 and 10, and that even saves you a little bit more. This is the way the extended pack comes, and of course has full instructions with everything you need. All you need is the magazine body and the follower, and this will convert your magazine into a 20-round mag. Guys, if you're looking for a good high-quality magazine for your P30 or VP9, check out XTech, and I think you'll find these are really high quality, and yet the price is really excellent. And I want to thank XTech for sending these magazines and for their sponsorship. And guys, I think this is something to really take a look at. Long Live the Republic t-shirts are available at forgeforfreedom.com. In fact, I have a whole collection there. I'll have a link down below in the description. And you get 5% off using Such5 when you check out. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Oops. So guys, if you're looking for some high quality mags at a reasonable price. So one of the reasons why that I though would go with the X, but one of the great things about, cut my hand.